welcome back to another video. Today is day 10. That means we're like 1/3 of the way through. And I feel like we've gotten through a lot of the deeper things, but I think, there's gonna be some lighter ones to come, some ones that I just wanna do for myself. But this one I feel like is one that's definitely gonna set the precedence for a lot of the ones to come. So, let's get into it. Number 10, create a self-care calendar. And this one, I think, is definitely something that I want to stick to. And I want them to be things that bring me joy. I want them to be things that relax me. But I also want them to be things that, I need to do. And I think in the realm of social media and things like that, self-care is often talked about something that's just frilly, something really cute, really dainty, run a bubble bath and, go shopping, and no shade to the girls that do that, right? But I also want my self-care to be things that that I need, right? I want my self-care to include things like say no. Say no. But I think oftentimes, we get into the habit of saying yes, and then end up being drained or overwhelmed or feeling abused or overworked. But part of the self-care is me being no, and stand 10 toes down in my no, right? But when I talk about creating a self-care calendar, I also want to pencil things in for myself, because I pencil everything else in my calendar, right? I have an old-fashioned paper agenda, and I'll pencil in work appointments, or I travel for work a lot, so what city I'm gonna be in based on the day of the week. I pencil in appointments or events that I'm hosting or helping to coordinate and different things like that. But on the calendar, ain't nothing on that calendar all month long that is just for me, right? And just for me, when I say just for me, outside of my relationship with my husband, outside of my friendships, outside of my obligations, right? Things that are just for me. And it could include something as simple as going to the park, bringing my journal with me and journaling, and really allowing myself to process and think through things. I want them to include things clear out clutter in my life and be intentional about that and process through those things. I want them to include, other things get my nails done, or go get a massage, or other things I feel like I need to do to de-stress. But I also want them to be things that I block out time for. And that's what I want to use the calendar for. It's the intentionality of blocking out time. So from 4 to 6, don't talk to me. I'm in an appointment with myself, And because I think that, like I said before, I make time for others in my life, my partner and my friends and different things like that. But, I want to make sure that I'm taking time for me. And that self-care calendar is also going to keep me accountable to that, right? Because for me, I always check off stuff on my calendar once I complete them. So if I didn't, if I said on Saturday morning from, 10 to 12, I'm going to block out time for myself, and I didn't do that, I'm going to be able to hold myself accountable because it was on my calendar, right? And I know that I didn't do that, even though I told myself that I was going to set that time apart. Because again, it goes back to the aspect of the whole point of this journey is to really be able to manifest and step into the woman that I'm becoming as I step into this new decade. And I want to make sure that everything of this 30 for 30 are things that's really going to walk me towards that, right? So even this calendar, because I want to be able to get into the habit of doing that now, right? It's not that I don't have things, right? I have a husband that I need to be a wife to. I have obligations that I have, but I want to do that before life gets crazy, right? Before the children come, or, before other responsibilities come, that I have gotten into the habit of taking me time. So then when life is even more hectic than what it is, I'm clocking out, y'all. I'm clocking out for a couple hours. Don't talk to me. Go talk to your daddy. It's self-care time, right? So I want to be able to do that, but also challenge other people, not just women, but other people, to pencil yourself in. And whatever that means, like if it just means, taking a bubble bath and, that's all that you needed for that moment, then do that. If it is, go and have a really deep analyzing session with yourself and really think through maybe some processes that you want to do, some of your goals, some of the things that are coming up, then do that, right? Let's make it a habit that we start, taking care of ourselves for real, right? And really being able to be like, I'm taking care of everybody else, including my aging parents, including my husband or my partner, including my children, including my household, including work. But am I taking care of me? So again, number 10, remember, create a self-care calendar. And I want that to look like however that looks like for y'all, but also for me. Like, I'm gonna put it in my calendar and in my agenda so that it's part of my activities for the week or for the month. And I haven't decided how often I'm gonna create that, right? If it's gonna be, 2 big, hours of block time a month, or is it like every week, even if it's just an hour, I'm gonna take some time to myself. And I think it's gonna be based on what I feel like I need for the season. So I'm not gonna lock myself into something specific, all the time. But one thing I'm gonna keep myself accountable to is I'm gonna do it, right? And I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to ensure that I'm doing what I need to do for me. Right? So yeah, let's continue the conversation below about the importance of self-care and what are your self-care activities. Give me ideas, because again, as I'm like starting to do this and starting to get into this, I'm still a novice at what self-care looks like. So what do you do for your self-care? And give me some things and give me some ideas so I kind of can get this thing going, right? And for those who are just like me and just like don't take time, let's challenge each other to do that and be like, have you taken your self-care time out this month or this week or today? But again, thank you for joining me on another day for the 30 for 30. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in another video.